Guys, this is S&P 500 weekly technical analysis for the week of July 7th. In the recent week, S&P 500 has gained 1.7%. Now, in my previous S&P 500 weekly technical analysis, I mentioned that this week will remain bullish and most likely the weekly candle will be a green candle. Why? Because it was a short week. And even in my pre-market analysis to my Patreon community members yesterday on Thursday, I mentioned that we are expecting market to remain mostly bullish. Now, other than that, the previous week was very much interesting because yesterday on Thursday, the S&P 500 has come into the bullish breakout condition. But what has actually triggered this bullishness and what will be the impact of this bullishness in the next week? So for that, you need to understand that on Monday, the S&P 500 gave a green candle and the maximum on Monday, it will trade in the 620X. Even if it breaches the 620X, it will fall back to the 620X. And you can see exactly in my midday update and also in my pre-market update, I mentioned the same. Now, whatever we have seen on Monday, on Tuesday, exactly opposite was supposed to be seen. Opposite means that it should move up. The S&P 500 should move up. And if it fails to move up, then it won't give up either. And in my midday update to my Patreon community members, I mentioned that if the S&P 500 fails to move to 621X, then it won't give up either. So we have seen two different conditions on these days, Monday and Tuesday. But because of this condition on Monday and Tuesday, now it was clear that on Wednesday, the S&P 500 has now the technical support. What kind of technical support? That it should move up. And also there must come a green candle. And also if all goes well, then it will move into the 623X zone, 623X range. And if you notice here, I mentioned that because of yesterday's bullish condition, okay, as per the point number 3 of the final update, S&P 500 should start to trade in the 62XX range. Then finally on Thursday, the stock market, the US stock market, it closed at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, so Friday we knew that it will remain bullish, most likely green. Okay, it will go bullish, trade bullish, close bullish. Okay, a bullish day. This is the Thursday. We were expecting bullishness in the 626X, okay, with a limited room in the 627X. That's it. I mentioned that we are expecting market, S&P 500 and the US stock market to remain mostly bullish today. Okay, and in the subsequent updates in the comments, I mentioned bullish, and bullish. But now the most important thing is the bullish breakout. Now bullishness is there, absolute bullish trend is there, and then the bullish breakout is there. Now how it is going to behave in the 6,300 range, okay, if there will be any fall, I am going to discuss in detail in this S&P 500 weekly technical analysis. So guys, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And if you want to get these daily precise updates of the S&P 500, Dow Jones, and in a manner to the entire US stock market every day from Monday through Friday, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. Now guys, let me tell you that I have divided this S&P 500 weekly technical analysis in 3 parts. First one is the weekly chart. First I will discuss the weekly chart. Weekly chart means the long-term trend, okay, long-term picture. Second one is the daily chart, okay, the short-term picture, the short-term trend. Third one is the probable movement, means what is going to happen. Just like last time, the condition was very much clear that a closing must be seen above the previous all-time high, that was 6187.68. And if on Monday it achieves this condition, in that case, bullish movement and a green candle will be there. That kind of probable movement, okay, bullish, bearish movement, etc. So these are the 3 parts. And guys, one more thing, let me remind you that when I say the probable movement, okay, so I cover 30 to 40% of the probable movement in the weekly chart and also in the daily chart. That is why it is recommended that you should watch all of these 3 parts, all of these 3 sections in order to understand what is going to happen in the US stock market in the next week, in the coming week. means the week of July 7th. Now, I'm going to discuss the weekly chart. Okay, the most important chart here, because through this we will come to know, okay, the long-term picture, the long-term trend. Now, on the weekly chart, let's first discuss the candle. Okay. Now, if you notice, this is the last weekly candle. It's a good green candle. There is no defined shape of the candle. However, the most important part of the candle is that the open of the candle and the closing of the candles are above the previous all-time high of 6147. This is most important. Okay, and now this has this itself, okay, it itself clears all of the conflicts and anything that would have been there if the open would have been below 6147, but now open and closings are both above the previous all-time high. Okay, good or heavy bullish candle indicating bullishness, clearly bullishness. This is also indicating that on Monday a gap up open on Monday, or irrespective of any open and initial or intraday bullish movement on Monday, this candle, okay, through this candle it is there. Now some of you, okay, who are actively monitoring the stock market, you will notice that the Dow futures and SP 500 futures are red today on Friday. Okay, yes, I agree, but you must understand that the futures, okay, futures can change anytime. Now let's analyze the Dow Jones, the candle of the Dow Jones, in order to confirm the same. The last weekly candle of the Dow Jones is again a very heavy weekly bullish candle. Okay, and because the Dow Jones, so far Dow Jones has failed to breach its all-time high. Okay, so again we are also expecting the same, a gap up open in the Dow Jones on Monday, or irrespective of any open and initial or intraday bullish movement. Okay, and again the same reason. So this means that on Monday, irrespective of anything, we are expecting an initial or intraday bullish movement or a gap up open. Okay, Dow Jones will create a problem. Okay, so that I will discuss later. Okay, first let me cover the technicals. Okay, so then I will discuss this, the problem through the Dow Jones. Now let's discuss the technicals. But guys, before that, so far if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And so far if you have liked this video, then hit like to appreciate, and your appreciation matters a lot. And if you want to get the daily precise updates of the S&P 500 and the entire US stock market every day from Monday through Friday, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. So now in terms of the technicals, S&P 500 is bullish through the Bollinger Bands. S&P 500 is bullish through the Ichimoku cloud on the weekly chart. S&P 500 is bullish through the moving averages on the weekly chart. S&P 500 is bullish through the MACD on the weekly chart. S&P 500 is bullish through the stochastic RSI on the weekly chart. And S&P 500 so far, it is neither overbought nor saturated, okay, nor overstretched. Okay, however, if there comes one more green weekly candle, then yes, next week the S&P 500 can hit that saturation. So it will be known as early as on Monday. Okay, once the market opens, the S&P 500 comes into the session, okay, and it try to move above this the recent closing 6279.35, then it will be very much clear, okay, that which all technical indicators have hit the saturation and what will be its impact. So S&P 500 is 100% absolute bullish on the weekly chart, heavy bullishness. Okay, now let's analyze the Dow Jones. Dow Jones is bullish through the Bollinger Bands on the weekly chart. Dow Jones is bullish through the Ichimoku cloud on the weekly chart. Dow Jones is bullish through the moving averages on the weekly chart, and the same here. Dow Jones is bullish through the MACD on the weekly chart, and the Dow Jones is bullish through the stochastic RSI on the weekly chart. And also the Dow Jones is neither overbought nor saturated nor overstretched. But again the same condition, a green candle in the next week, any kind of green candle, okay, can trigger at least 1 to 2 technical indicators to hit the respective saturation or the overbought conditions. Okay, but again it will be very much clear on Monday when the entire market, when the US stock market comes into the session. So in this manner, the Dow Jones is also 100% absolute bullish on the weekly chart. Now let's discuss the problem. Well, the problem is pretty simple. What we know is that the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq, both of these indices have breached their all-time highs, previous all-time highs, okay, and are now creating or have now made new all-time highs. Only the Dow Jones is lagging behind. Dow Jones has not tested, breached, okay, this is the all-time high. So what does all of this means? This means that Dow Jones is in a condition. See, I will show you, okay, on the daily chart. On the daily chart, Dow Jones is not good because it has already hit the saturation levels. Okay, this means that Dow Jones is in a condition. It is like 0.5%, just half a percent away from its previous all-time high. That's it. But now there is a problem. Okay, even if it hits the all-time high, then also there will be a problem. If it doesn't, then also there will be a problem. Okay, if it hits the all-time high, then it won't be able to continue its bullish movement. Why? Because of the daily chart. Okay, daily chart is now saturated. Okay, more bullish movement, okay, Monday, Tuesday, etc., that will further saturate the daily chart and will not allow any further bullish movement. Rather, it will demand some cool, okay, that the technicals must cool down before it can try to move up. Okay, now if it doesn't breach, doesn't test the okay, this the previous all-time high, that was 45,073, 45073, 45073.63 all-time high. If it doesn't breach this the previous all-time high 45,073, in that case it will be assumed that the Dow Jones is under pressure, and then it will have to come down, okay, before it can try for the all-time high again. So in both of these cases, the bullish movement is now getting restricted in the Dow Jones, and that is the problem, not just for the Dow Jones but for the entire US stock market in both of these the cases. Okay, now when I say the fall does not mean that there will be heavy fall or this fall. Yes, this can happen. Why? If you remember in the previous S&P 500 weekly technical analysis, I mentioned July 9th. July 9th is the most important day. Why? Because the 90-day pause on the tariffs, okay, it expires on July 9th. Okay, so something must be done if the president says that he is not going to give any more extension and whatever is there or was there or so. In that case, there is no bullish movement, no more bullish movement, or very limited bullish movement, and then we will see whatever we have seen in the month of April. That will be the repetition of the same, okay, almost the same pattern. Okay, because this much of heavy bullishness around S&P 500 has gained around 30%. It has gained around 30%, 30%. Okay, from the low that was seen in April. Low was 4835. Okay, from that point around 30%, okay, in just 3 months. Extremely heavy bullishness, extremely heavy bullish movement. Okay, just because of the condition that the president has announced a 90-day pause and that there will be trade deals. However, only with 2 or 3 countries or 4 countries there are trade deals. Otherwise, there are many of these countries are still not there in the picture. Okay, anyways, July 9th, okay, is the day that will either make or break the market. If the pause continues, then market can trade normally, not a problem. If not, in that case we shall be ready to see the bearish movement, the fall. Okay, means a good fall again. Whatever, see, it has gained 30%, it will then again lose 20 to 30%. Simple. Okay, so this is the problem here. See, there is a technical problem and there is this the non-technical problem. Both of these problems are there. Okay, through the Dow Jones there is a problem. Through the S&P 500 there is no problem as such. Okay, on the daily chart, yes, there are conditions for some break, some pause, some weakness, fall, otherwise not. But guys, whatever is going to happen or whatever will happen, okay, irrespective of July 9th, pause or no pause or nothing, okay, so that doesn't matter. Whatever is going to happen or whatever will happen, I will keep you posted if you are my Patreon community member. And if you are not, then you can join my Patreon community in order to get these daily precise updates which I give to my Patreon community members every day from Monday through Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every day. Pre-market analysis before the open of the stock market. Midday update after 3 hours. Final update 2 hours before the closing of the stock market. And that's not all. because I also give the stock market opportunities in the premium stocks, in the top 30-40 companies, the blue chips of the US stock market, minimum 5 to 10 opportunities every week. And that's not all, because I also give the mid-week update. It's a video technical analysis, a very short video technical analysis, and it is given every Wednesday or Thursday, and I discuss all of the conditions of the bullishness, bearishness with the exact numbers, exact levels. So guys, if you also want to get all of these, the daily updates, daily precise updates, the stock market opportunities, and the midweek update video technical analysis, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. And when you follow that link, then you will see that this is my Patreon page and this is my Patreon profile. And here you will see this button. The button says see membership options. Okay, when you click on this button, then it will show you these three levels: level 1, level 2, level 3. Now, level 1 and level 2 are same. The only difference is in the geographical location. Okay, so when you subscribe either to these, the level 1 or level 2, then you will be getting all midweek update videos. Okay, so video technical analysis every Wednesday or Thursday, daily SP500 analysis updates, movement, momentum, levels, zones, everything every day from Monday through Friday. Stock market opportunities minimum 5 to 10 every week in the premium stock. Now this is level 3. Level 3 is very special. So when you subscribe to this level 3, then you will be getting whatever you are getting in level 1 and level 2, you will be getting that thing. Okay, everything by default. Okay, in the level 3. Other than that, through a Zoom video meeting, through a one-on-one, means just me and you, through a Zoom video meeting, okay, I will tell you, I will teach you, I will share with you entry and exit secrets. One premium hack. Okay, this hack has very high accuracy, and also you might not have seen or heard about this hack. And these are the hacks that I used in my daily analysis, in my daily predictions, or even in my weekly predictions. Okay, one trading or options strategy, again a very high accuracy. Okay, you might not have seen or heard of. Then the modified technical indicators. I will share with you my modified technical indicators, the values. I will help you set up your charts. Okay. The options premium calculator. I will tell you how to calculate the premium value of any option. Okay. And then to plan your trade. So in this manner, you are going to get all of this through this, the level 3. Means whatever you are expecting or whatever you can anticipate, you will be getting much more than that through this, the level 3. And guys, if you notice, many people have joined my Patreon community for last many days, weeks, months, years, and they are getting these daily precise updates every day from Monday through Friday. Pre-market analysis, midday update, final update, stock market opportunities, midweek update, and they are very well aware of what is happening, what is going to happen, why that is happening, what will happen next, everything. So guys, whenever you want to join my Patreon community, I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. You can follow the link, you can join my Patreon community, and you are welcome. Now guys, I am going to discuss the daily chart. Okay, so daily chart means one candle represents one day, not 1 week or 1 hour. One candle means one day. Okay, now let's discuss this candle. It's a very heavy bullish candle. Why? Multiple reasons. Number 1, a bullish breakout. Okay, you are seeing a trend line. Open was above the trend line. Bullish breakout. Number 2, open equal to low condition means open price was the low. Okay, so this is the second thing. Number 3, the open and closing of the candle, okay, are above the previous all-time high and also above previous, okay, or means any high that we have seen earlier, all-time high. Okay, number 4, the closing of the candle is near to the high of the candle. Okay, so there are now multiple reasons, okay, why this candle is a very heavy bullish candle. What does this mean? This means that on Monday, either a gap up open, okay, or irrespective of any open, there will be an initial or intraday bullish movement. Okay, very much clear, right? Yes, this has also brought in the profit booking condition, okay, in the stock market. Okay, because of this heavy bullishness and the bullish breakout, a profit booking condition is now there because the technicals are saturated. Okay, they will further saturate. Okay, So they will demand some cooling in the US stock market. Okay, because of, and that can happen through the profit booking, means those who have bought earlier, they will now try to dump here, they will try to sell here. Okay, so that I will discuss the profit booking condition in detail in the next point, in the probable movement. Okay, but now through the candle, it is very much clear a gap up open on Monday, or irrespective of any open and initial or intraday bullish movement on Monday. Okay, now let's verify the same through the Dow Jones. Dow Jones, well, as such, there is no condition of bullish breakout or this or that, and also there is not even open equal to low condition or that. The only thing is that the Dow Jones, this the candle of the Dow Jones, okay, it's just heavy bullish candle, not very heavy, but just a heavy bullish candle. Okay, so this candle is indicating, it is not indicating a gap up open. No, it is indicating an initial or intraday bullish movement on Monday. That's it. So this is a little different from what we have seen on the weekly and the daily charts. Okay, of both of these indices. Only the daily chart of the Dow Jones is not indicating a gap up open. Otherwise, all of the charts are indicating a gap up open. So what does this mean? Now, this means that on Monday, okay, we are now expecting a gap up open. Okay, and even if the S&P 500 fails to give a gap up open, and it gives a little or limited gap down open, then also there will be very good chances, very heavy chances, that there will be a bullish movement. There will be some buying, and it will try to breach, or it will breach this the closing. Okay, so an initial or intraday bullish movement will be there if there doesn't come a gap up open. Okay, either initially, immediately within the first hour, or intraday. Okay, we'll see. Okay, this kind of condition. Now, yes, the technicals are something, okay, that are creating a problem. So let's discuss the technicals. But guys, before that, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And so far, if you have liked this video, then hit like to appreciate, and your appreciation matters a lot. And if you want to get these daily precise updates of the S&P 500, Dow Jones, and in a manner to the entire US stock market every day from Monday through Friday, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. Now, in terms of the technicals, S&P 500 is bullish through the Ichimoku cloud, through the Bollinger Bands, through the moving averages on the daily chart. Okay, then it is also S&P 500 is also bullish through the MACD and the stochastic RSI on the daily chart. And yes, it has hit the saturation, okay, and the divergence, and this is going to create a problem, and this is what I was talking about earlier. But through the technicals, S&P 500 is 100% absolute bullish on the daily chart. Okay, now let's analyze the Dow Jones. Dow Jones is also bullish through the Bollinger Bands, Ichimoku cloud, moving averages on the daily chart, and Dow Jones is also bullish through the MACD and the stochastic RSI on the daily chart. It has also hit the divergence and the saturation on the daily chart. Okay, so Dow Jones is also 100% absolute bullish on the daily chart. Now, just like the previous week, both of these indices, S&P 500 and Dow Jones, are 100% absolute bullish on the daily and the weekly chart. What does this mean? This means that there is a long-term bullish trend, and this long-term bullish trend is very heavy, in a manner that even if there comes a fall, then also it will be able to recover. Okay, so it will remain mostly in the bullish condition. Okay, even if it comes down, then also we can see a recovery. Once again, July 9th, okay, this is something, okay, that can actually change the face of the market. One more thing, on July 9th, on Wednesday, the FOMC minutes of the meetings will be released. Okay, so July 9th will be very heavy. The impact of the July 9th will be very, very heavy on the entire US stock market and the global stock markets. So yes, before that, before Wednesday, on Monday and Tuesday, the markets can give either a bullish movement or a limited movement in either side. Now, one more thing. This is regarding the bullish breakout condition. Now, if you notice, in my final update yesterday on Thursday, okay, I have mentioned and discussed this, the bullish breakout condition. Okay, that because of this or this, okay, this has happened. This has helped the S&P 500 to remain in sustained bullish for the day, and any fall shall be limited to or around, okay, this or this condition. Okay, but the bullish breakout condition does not mean that the SP500 is allowed to move into a straight line, means bullish, everyday bullish or bullish. No, but it says that the market, means the S&P 500, the entire US stock market, in a manner to remain mostly bullish, and any fall will be that will be expected, okay, this fall will be limited, okay, or restricted. And guys, exactly the same I delivered through this, the S&P 500 knowledge transfer program. Okay, this is the process, okay, very well known process, very well known patterns. If there are candles of this kind, then this will happen next. Okay, so everything, so through this S&P 500 knowledge transfer program, whatever I know, whatever I have learned, okay, I share, I teach, okay, through this program. And also the name is S&P 500 knowledge transfer program. However, whatever I am going to teach here, okay, will be applicable to any stock, okay, any currency, any crypto, any commodity, or anything that is traded in the stock market, because I am going to teach the patterns, okay, the hacks, the basics, the advanced, okay, and all of these through this, the S&P 500 knowledge transfer programs. And also I mentioned here in detail what I'm going to teach from basics to advanced, and will help you set up your charts, okay, the modified technical indicators, the trading strategies I will tell you, okay, in a very, very different manner that will give, okay, that are very, very accurate, very high accuracy is there. Then how to analyze the movement of the market, how to recognize the patterns, etc. And then all about the options, the basics to the advanced of the options, and options premium calculator, I will teach you how to use it, how to calculate the premium value of any option. Then live options calculations, okay, then the support and resistance levels for next 5 years. Then price prediction, how to know, so price prediction means how to calculate the expected price. For example, I predicted 614x will be the all-time high of the S&P 500. Recently I mentioned there will be a short-term break in the 606x. We have seen a short-term fall, okay, around 1.5% to 2%. It has tested the confluence zone. Then I mentioned confluence zone, everything will be here up to this, and then a bullish movement, all of this, okay. Then how to recognize, okay, and how to deduce the trend of the market, okay, and reverse engineering, okay, and then how to recognize the manipulation and convert the manipulation or convert the trap into the opportunities. Then the hacks, intraday hacks, short-term hacks, long-term hacks, okay, with very high accuracy, okay, and then that you might not have seen or heard of. And I use these, the hacks and everything, in my daily predictions. Then these are some very important terms and conditions, very, very basic. Then these are the snapshots of the recent meetings. So guys, whenever you want to participate in this program, whenever you want to learn all of this and you want to become self-reliant, you want to trade, okay, for the rest of your life with confidence, with clarity, okay, by knowing everything, okay, then this is my email address, okay. So whether you want to participate or if you have any query, then you can simply send me an email. And I have given the link to this Google spreadsheet in the description of the video and also in the comment section. Now guys, I'm going to discuss the third part, okay, that is the probable movement. Okay, probable movement means here I will tell you what is going to happen in the S&P 500, in the Dow Jones, and in a manner, okay, in the entire US stock market including Nasdaq in the next week. Okay, so the most important part, the most important thing, okay, is the Wednesday. Okay, why Wednesday? Because two events are there. Number one, Wednesday will be July 9th. Okay, the pause, okay, the 90 days pause on the tariffs, okay, it will expire on July 9th. July 9th is the last day. Okay, on Wednesday, okay, around 2 p.m. Eastern time, okay, or even a little before that, the FOMC minutes of the meetings will be released. Okay, I think around 1 p.m. or so. So through the minutes of the meetings, we will come to know what the Feds are thinking, whether they are expecting, okay, still expecting 2 more rate cuts, okay, or means what they are thinking exactly, okay. Now, in terms of the movement, what we know is that, okay, so that is clear. Wednesday will be heavily volatile. Okay, that volatility will be felt from Tuesday onwards. This means that if the S&P 500 and the entire US stock market want to remain bullish, want to trade bullish, it can, not a problem, but only until Tuesday. That's it, not after Tuesday. After Tuesday, if it want to, if the stock market, if the S&P 500 want to trade bullish, then in that case it will have to see the outcome of the July 9th, okay, tariffs and the FOMC event. And based on the outcome of these two, the stock market will behave. But until Tuesday, the entire US stock market is allowed to trade bullish, not a problem. Okay. Now, if it is allowed to trade bullish, if the S&P 500 is allowed to trade bullish, then to what level it can actually trade bullish? Okay. Now comes the next psychological level, 6,300. Okay. It will have to clear and close above the 6,300. Okay. But most important part is here. This is the Dow Jones. Okay. So S&P 500 can even breach, okay, there's the 6,300, okay, so that's not a problem. But if the Dow Jones, okay, this is the all-time high, 45,073.63. This was the all-time high of the Dow Jones. Now, Dow Jones is around 0.5%, half a percent away from its all-time high. If the Dow Jones, okay, hesitate, okay, or struggles to move towards its all-time high, then S&P 500 will struggle to test, to clear and to sustain and to close above the 6,300. Okay, actually the mark is 6299. This is my level, calculated level, 6299. Okay, so 6299. Then S&P 500 is like it is from this the previous close 6299, it is around 0.3% S&P 500. Okay, if the Dow Jones hesitate, okay, in that case the entire US stock market will hesitate and the S&P 500, okay, will struggle at or around 6299. Okay, 6299 itself is heavy. Okay, now if the Dow Jones fails to test, hit, or if it tests, hit, but fails to breach and fails to sustain above the 45,073 all-time high, in that case S&P 500 will have to retrace back from or around 6299. Okay, now retrace back to what? At most it can retrace back to the trend line. Simple. Okay, once it comes down to the trend line, test the trend line, this means that it is now fulfilling the conditions. Okay, means the customary process, the custom is there. Okay, so just like we have many of the customs in the world, so similarly this is the custom in the stock market. So it will come down, it will test, it will fulfill its obligation to the trend line. Okay, then for next at least until Tuesday we can see the same. On Wednesday everything will be very much clear whether there will be a bullish movement or 20 to 30% fall. Okay, through the tariffs and the FOMC event, or sorry, FOMC minutes of the meetings. Okay, this means that any fall for now, any fall or any kind of fall for now will be limited to the trend line itself. Okay, now in here, okay, just below trend line there is my heavy support level in 623x. Okay, this is my heavy support level in 623x, 6203x. Okay, and as I mentioned earlier in the daily chart section also, it can breach the trend line. That's not a problem. It can breach that trend line, come down. Okay, but as long as it is sustaining, holding, okay, and getting a reversal from the heavy support level, no problem. Okay, means it must close above that trend line. That's it, it must close above that trend line. The closings must be seen above that trend line. That's it, that's the only thing, okay, for the bullishness. Because if the S&P 500 holds, sustains, keeps on closing above, doesn't matter whether it is July 9th or July 19th, okay, or 2025, 2006, doesn't matter. Okay, as long as this condition, as of now, okay, at least for this month. Okay, so as long as the closings are seen above the trend line, fine, it will move up. It will try again and again of 6299, that is my level. Okay, it will try again and again. Once there comes a closing, at least one closing above this level, then we can anticipate more bullish movement in the 6300 range. And in the 6300 there is a level, okay, from where we can expect, okay, a fall. So earlier it was in the middle of this, it was in the middle of 6, so that was 6 to 6x. Okay, actually a little below 6 to 6x there was a level, okay, from where we were expecting some okay, a little fall. Okay, just like last in the previous weekly technical analysis I mentioned that we are expecting there will be a fall, but that will be limited. Okay, but because the S&P 500 came into heavy bullish condition, okay, by Tuesday itself, that is why it managed to sustain. Okay, and then on Wednesday when it sustained, heavy bullish condition was there. Then on Thursday, because of the data, strong economic data, it managed to clear. Okay, otherwise it was supposed to struggle. Okay, anyways, this means that after getting a closing above the 6299, after getting a closing above the 6299, the S&P 500, okay, will be in a condition to move into the entire 6300 range. Okay, but then it will be the 6300 range wherein we will anticipate a fall like this was 6059.40, 6059.40. okay, this was when I mentioned that we will anticipate, we are expecting a fall, a confirmed fall from 606x, but will be limited to the confluence zone. Okay, but now when it will move into the 6300 range, then there any fall from that level, okay, will at first will be allowed, will be up to this, the previous all-time high. The previous all-time high was 6147. okay, very simple, 6147. okay, when it comes down from 6300 range, then 6147 will be there. Before that there are levels like 623x, and there are levels, they will help. Okay, 2-3 levels are there, but eventually it will be the previous all-time high, the 6147. okay, and then a movement around 6147 will tell us whether there will be more fall or not. Okay, if the July 9th event, okay, if there comes very heavy fall, then within a day, okay, around 3% fall can be expected. 3% means around 200 points. This means that within a day it can test the 6147. It can even lose the 6147 to 606x. okay, but again, we cannot forget the Dow Jones. Dow Jones is very important here. Okay, because you must also understand that this was the bearish condition. What if the Dow Jones actually moves up, breaches the previous all-time high of 45,073 and closes above this all-time high? Then what will happen? Then there will be more bullish sentiments in the Dow Jones. These bullish sentiments will not just help the Dow Jones, but will also help the S&P 500 and the entire US stock market. Now comes the question of the technicals. Okay, that if the technicals are getting saturated, overheated, oversaturated, okay, then will these technicals allow, okay, more bullish movement in the Dow Jones and in the entire US stock market? Then there will be these two conditions. Number one, if the Dow Jones keeps on moving up, okay, moves up, clears the previous all-time high, okay, gives a green candle, further saturation. Next day also it try to move up, it remains absolute saturation, overbought, and whatever is there, absolute. Okay, through all of the technical indicators, the Dow Jones as well as S&P 500 as well as Nasdaq, and in a manner the entire US stock market will be heavily overstretched, heavily overbought, heavily oversaturated, heavily divergence, means everything, okay, that you can say. This means that the S&P 500, Dow Jones, and the entire US stock market will then come down, okay, because it will fail to hold, okay, its own weight. It will be very heavy, okay, it will be very heavy, that it will be fail to hold its own weight, and it will have to come down. And there will not be just like, you know, this the small, this the red candle. No, there will be some good candle, okay, at least 1 to 2 days of bearishness, okay, around 1 to 2% fall. In the S&P 500 this can be seen around 3%, okay, or in the overall market around 3% fall we can see. Okay, So this means that as of now, the continuous bullish movement will create a problem to the entire US stock market, and continuous bullish movement means that those who are buying heavily, okay, they are in hurry. They are in hurry because they know that something is going to happen. That is why they are in hurry. Otherwise, this continuous buying or bullish movement, especially when the technical indicators have started to overheat, okay, so this is not allowed. But because they are in hurry, okay, so they need to build a trap, okay, and then to exit from these trades, okay. So now, because we do not know, okay, who is doing what, okay, or what they will do, that is why we are going to simply rely on the technical indicators. And through the technicals, we know that continuous bullish movement is not sustainable, is not allowed. Okay, this can trigger actually heavy fall. But however, a hold or a movement at the trend line for next 2 to 3 days will help the SP 500, will help the Dow Jones, will help the Nasdaq to cool down a little in a manner that it trades around the trend line, sustains and keeps on closing above the trend line, and then more bullish movement like 2 to 3%, okay, in the 6,300 range is very much okay without any fear of any fall. Very simple, okay. But once that trend line is gone in the S&P 500, then it doesn't matter what the Dow Jones is doing. Okay, once that trend line is gone, there comes a closing below the trend line. Then this will trigger one more thing. Okay, and what is that? It is not just about the previous all-time high 6147, but if you know, there is a little gap. Okay, although I do not support this, the gap theory. Okay, but many a times I have seen that okay, whenever there comes a fall, okay, then the fall is a little stretched, okay, in order to fill the gap, okay, but it is not always true, okay. But yes, what happens is that because of this, actually the retail traders, okay, they start thinking about the fall, sorry, about the gap fill theory, okay, but in actual 100% it never works. So when it comes down to the 61, when it loses a closing below the trend line, means 6147 previous all-time high, failure at the 6147 means 606x, okay, and failure at the 606x means finally it will be back to that confluence zone, okay. So fall from, let's say, anywhere from here to the confluence zone will be around somewhere around 5%, you can say 5% fall, okay. This means that trend line is going to play a very important role. And yes, one more thing I forgot to mention, and that was the profit booking. Okay, let me quickly cover the profit booking, okay, how it is going to happen or how it can actually happen, the profit booking. And when it will be when it will happen, then it will happen in all of the indices, okay, not just in the S&P 500, okay. So for the profit booking, what we know is that generally what happens is that there comes a gap up open, okay. Technicals are already saturated, overbought, etc, etc, but then there comes a gap up open. After gap up open, it moves up, generally it comes into open equal to low condition, but not necessarily true always. But after open, it moves up, it remains in that condition at least for 1 hour or 1 to 2 hours. Then the first hour candle forms. This first hour candle is generally an indicator whether the profit booking is happening or not. Now when I say the profit booking, then what does this mean, the term the profit booking? It is a technical term. It states that whosoever has earlier bought, okay, now they are in the profits, now they are going to exit their positions, okay. So in order to exit, okay, they will choose a price and then they will exit, and once they exit, okay, then that will trigger a fall, okay. So this is what the profit booking is, okay. Generally the profit booking is seen only for one day, like this one day, or means, see, this is not the profit booking, but generally one day there comes more than 1% or 1 to 2% fall in the profit booking, okay. In some cases this fall can be heavy, still heavy, okay. Some people think of this fall as the bearishness, but in actual, okay, this is the point from where we see a reversal or more bullish movement. But in actual, whether it will be a profit booking, okay, to what level it will come down, etc, etc, I will clear that in the pre-market analysis, okay. Then I will give you the first update if needed, and then the midday update and the comment section, okay, if you are my Patreon community member. And guys, if you are not, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. So if there comes the profit booking on Monday, okay, if the profit booking happens on Monday, then in that case, it will be actually good for the stock market, because the profit booking will actually cool down the technical indicators in the entire, okay, this the stock market, means the Dow Jones, Nasdaq, etc., etc. Okay, this will cool down the technical. This will open more room in the bull side if the July 9th, Wednesday, because of those two things. Okay, if everything comes in favor of the Wall Street, then this will actually continue. Then this bullish movement will continue. Okay, because the fall will already be there. Okay, on the in this manner, the profit booking manner. Okay, but the only condition is that there must come a closing above the trend line. That's it. Okay, although below the closing there is my level at 623x. Okay, so in a case, in, okay, this will be an exceptional case if there comes a closing below the trend line but above my calculated support level, then the S&P 500 will get one more day plus one, okay, one more day, okay, to test and to close above the trend line. If it fails on the second day, then this level won't be able to help anymore. Then there will be, more bearish side movement. Okay, so on Monday, okay, within the first hour or within the first half, it will be very much clear what is going to happen. So guys, if you have liked this video, then hit like to appreciate, and your appreciation matters a lot. And if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And if you want to ask any question, then you can ask your questions through the comment section.